Claire Foy and Matt Smith star in The Crown. The Crown has so far taken no prisoners when it comes to depicting the secret life of the royals, from the blazing arguments between the newlywed Queen and Prince Philip to the love life of Princess Margaret. Next series, it is to go one step further, exploring the relationship between the Windsors and the Nazi Party. The Crown, the Netflix drama, will dedicate one future episode to the Edward VIII, the Duke of Windsor, and his dealings with the Nazis, in scenes set after he abdicated the throne to live in virtual exile. Robert Lacey, historian and author of the show's companion book, said the second series would embrace the difficult topic of how close the Duke came to figures within the party, exploring the subtle points of European politics and royalty. The Duke's memory has long been tainted by his association with the Nazis, with photographs of him making a Heil Hitler salute. Earlier this year, National Archive papers revealed details of how Sir Winston Churchill attempted to suppress secret Second World War documents detailing a Nazi plot to offer the throne to the Duke of Windsor in the event of Britain's defeat. Speaking at Cheltenham Literature Festival, Lacey said he had heard criticism of the first series of The Crown for its portrayal of Edward VIII, depicted as both charming and spiteful in his dealings with the young Queen and her family. The Duke and Duchess of Windsor during their controversial meeting with German leader Adolf Hitler in Munich, 1937, Lacey told an audience, "Somebody said to me the other day, the problem with your Edward VIII is that you don't talk about his Nazi side, so I don't watch it anymore." Well, just to tell you, Season 2 starts in December and there is a whole episode addressing this question of Hitler and the Windsors and all these subtle points. The portrayal of the Duke of Windsor, a panel said, had attempted to be as accurate as possible, taking influence from his own letters despite problems with copyright. Annie Salzberger, researcher for The Crown, disclosed that while scriptwriters had tried to make dialogue as close to the real thing as possible, the words of the Duke and Sir Winston Churchill had to be adapted so as not to fall foul of their estates. For the Duke of Windsor's letters, most of the problems came because reprinting material is copyrighted, she said. That was covered by a publisher and it was so complicated to try and track down who owned the copyright on the letters themselves. So we decided that we'd just put it aside and rewrite, very close. We wrote in the same tone but we didn't use the words. The Churchill estate refused to give us any permission to use any of his words without reading every single word that we had written. Every script, regardless of whether or not he was in it. We decided that was an inappropriate relationship to have, and we would just go ahead and rewrite. John Lithgow as Winston Churchill in Netflix royal series The Crown. Even things like the King's eulogy we had to rewrite, which you would think would be publicly owned. The Netflix significant passages missing and words substituted, including swapping the word solemn for somber. Lacey added the book publishers also went to the Churchill estate for the rights to use the eulogy. They were a bit freer, they just charged us £500. We said why. It was a broadcast on the BBC by the Prime Minister broadcast around the world. Surely we can reproduce that. They said no, and we decided not to argue and it's in the book. The Churchill estate did not respond to a request for comment. The book, The Crown, is out now, with the second series of the Netflix show available later this year.